Welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Lions franchise game. And to finish off our season, we have two straight games that are rivalry games. So, we always play against the Bears tough. Marco Keaton stole the Rookie of the Year award from... Welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Lions franchise video. And to finish off our season, we have two straight rivalry matches. We have our game against the Bears in Detroit. And, obviously Marco Keaton and Otis Benedict are kind of our key rivals that are on the Bears in division. And then for Week 18, we have a Super Bowl rematch against the Texans and Cade Cody. And we look forward to that game as well. But for Week 17, we have a weekly award that we got against the Packers in our win. And Patrick Surtain finished with 5 tackles, 2 picks, and the pick 6, getting Defensive Player of the Week in the NFC. And we don't have a ton of other things to really look at. We don't need players to... we don't have any players that we need to re-sign. We don't have any players we don't need to scout. I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at the playoff picture, and then we're going to look at the season stats maybe. Let's see, so in the NFC, we are at the 1 seed right now. The Saints are the 2. Rams are the 7. And anyone else in the NFC North? No one else in the NFC North. All right, welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Lions franchise video, and we have an exciting final 2 weeks of the regular season where we have 2 straight rivalry matches against the Bears and then the Texans. The Bears, obviously, in division, their quarterback, Marco Keaton, we have that whole rivalry with him, and then with Otis Benedict, the defensive player. Oh, my God. Welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Lions franchise video, and we have 2 weeks left in the season, and both of these games are going to be interesting. They're both rivalry matches against the Bears, obviously an in-division opponent with Marco Keaton and Otis Benedict on the roster. And then Week 18, we play the Texans. That's going to be a Super Bowl rematch from last year, and I look forward to playing against Cade Cody again. This week, before we get into the game, we have just to look at the playoff picture. No teams in the NFC North besides us are currently in the playoffs, but we are the 1 seed right now. We've taken the 1 seed spot from the Saints. And there's a bunch of NFC West teams, and the Eagles are also the 5 seed. And then we don't need to re-sign any players. We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about scouting at all. And we're going to look at the end of the season stats pretty soon. I think what we're going to do real quick, though, is we're going to look at the yearly awards and see if we have anyone in the running. So for MVP, do we have anyone in the top 10? We do not. Marco Keaton's at number 8, though. In the NFC, for Offensive Player of the Year, we don't have... Oh, actually, Brian Jackson's at number 8. That's actually crazy. It's mostly based off of just pure touchdowns. Defensive Player of the Year, Surtain, number 1. That makes sense with the amount of interceptions and pick sixes he has. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brian Jackson would make sense as well if he's leading for Offensive Player of the Year. Although I do see Enrique Bruce and Jonathan Springs on the top 10 list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Otis Benedict's at number 2. And again, Sean Hazelwood was the number 1 player before his injury, but has since slid to the number 3 spot, and Chance McAllister has moved up to the number 1 spot. Best quarterback, Marco Keaton's at number 3, and, it makes sense that we don't have our quarterback, Jake Zimmer, up there because he has not had a great season. Brian Jackson, number 3, at the best running back spot, which is awesome to see. Lionel Hebert, nowhere to be seen on the list. Best wide receiver... We've had a number of receivers out with injuries, so it's kind of makes sense that they're not on the list, although I would have loved to see Cooper on there. For Best O-line, Joel Bitonio and Corey Linsley are on there, along with Jackson Carman, actually, which is surprising. And Thayer Munford, that's also surprising. I don't know why he's on the list for top 10 offensive linemen. Best D-line, do we have anybody? No, we do not. For Best linebacker, Trayvon Walker, again, leading the way, and it makes sense. Sean Hazelwood at number 7. Otis Benedict at number 10. Best DB is Tariq and Patrick Surtain at number 1. And then we do not have Isaiah Simmons on the list. And then that is all we're going to really look at. We don't have our kicker or punter. On the kickoff. Here we go. Playing in Detroit. Again, our first matchup was in Chicago, and we won the game 34-20. Marco Keaton finished with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Jake Zimmer outdueling him in that matchup with 2 TDs and 1 pick. Marco Keaton has struggled against us, for sure, in the first 2 seasons that we've played against him. Has not had a lot of exceptional games playing against us, although on the season, almost 4,000 passing yards, 37 TDs, and 9 picks. Clearly, in the running, it makes sense that he's in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. Clearly, Jake Zimmer is not having an equivalent season. I mean, we can be honest about that. Jake Zimmer has thrown more than twice as many interceptions and has thrown about 10 less touchdowns as well, and has been benched for a game even. On the first play, we're watching this little sit down, and we get the sack with Trey Hendrickson on the first play, making it 2nd and 19. A big play from Trey. On 2nd and 19, we're dropping into cover 3. They do have everyone kind of split out on the right side. You got to worry about George Kittle over the middle. Throwing it underneath, though. N'Keal Harry with the catch. Nice tackle made. Marco Keaton completes his first pass attempt. And we're in cover 2. We got 3 receivers out left. And again, we got to... Oh, Jalen Armour Davis is on the field. That's kind of surprising. Oh, over the middle. We're not getting a lot of pressure at all here. Throwing it up, and we get the pick. Can we? Oh, it's incomplete. Isaiah Simmons skied up and almost got the interception. It kind of looked like a rebound attempt almost. It was just like a jump ball. And Christian Harris was there in support as well. On the punt return, Brian Jackson gets the opportunity to return this one. Oh, no, my God. Bro, this needs to stop. Jalen Armour Davis needs to stop stealing this. I'm bringing him back to block, and he keeps just stealing the punt return attempts. Jake Zimmer coming out onto the field. Again, historically has played very well against the Bears. I loved our snow game from last season as well. He played very well in that game, although I will say Lionel Hibbert really just, starred in that game in the snow. In our first matchup with the Bears, though, of this season, he had 2 TDs and 1 interception, which was not bad, not great. We're going to get Hibbert going on the first play in single back. We're going to run him straight up the middle on the first run attempt, following our blockers and picking up a couple of yards. Kind of what we've come to expect, although last week he did go completely off. The funny thing is he actually has about the same amount of rushing yards as he did in the last season, but off of almost twice as many attempts. Juwan Johnson underneath, cannot connect on the pass. Got pressured pretty quickly out of cover 4. Because we were in play action, he rolled out and rolled right into the edge rusher. We got 3 tight ends on the field. We're going to utilize all of them. Juwan Johnson over the top. Holds on to it. What a catch. Down at the 40-yard line. A great throw by Jake. And probably shouldn't be going no huddle here. I'm not going to lie. That was probably a mistake. Going to run it with Lionel Hibbert. On the run, though. Good blocks. Getting a substantial amount of yards up to the 37-yard line. And again, if you are just tuning into this video and you are watching this series but not the Buccaneers series, I would go ahead and also check that one out. It's very good. Oh, we try to get the pass off to Lionel Hibbert, but we got sacked before we could make the pass attempt. And I'm calling a timeout here. We should not be in no huddle after taking a sack like that. And honestly, what I want to do is I want to get Brian Jackson on the field too. On long passing down situations, I mean, it just makes more sense to have him out there. And really the formation I'm looking for is this one specifically. He can absolutely burn people one-on-one on the outside. We're going to line him up out at wide receiver. We got Posey blocking. I think I'm actually going to have Posey on a curl. And we're going to have Jameson on a drag. Jameson's wide open underneath. See if he can go pick up some yak. And he picks up the first down. And they just completely slept on him underneath. And that's just something you can't do with him, with his speed. 1st and 10, run by Brian Jackson. Couldn't really make up his mind on where to run, and ends up picking 0 yards up on the play. Still using him in the run game, though. Right now we're going to do a little halfback screen with him. Let's see if he can make anything happen in the receiving game. Got great blocks. He's got just a one-on-one matchup on the outside, and can't beat his man one-on-one, but does get down to the 17-yard line. Patrick Surtain trying to hype up the crowd. Again, this is a big game for us. Regardless, despite the fact that the Bears are not making the playoffs, almost guaranteed, it's always a big matchup to play against the Bears. And they have nobody over the line. We're going to run this one again. No block sheds that I can see. Picking up a couple yards before getting knocked down. really what I see here is I want to maybe target Andrews in the back corner of the end zone. Give him a chance to win a jump ball. This is what he's here for. An inaccurate pass, though, from Jake. And, yeah, I kind of thought that he could get open on that play, but just not a great pass attempt from Jake Zimmer. 3rd and 6. Got a little flood concept on the right side, kind of. Underneath, we got Cooper. Can Cooper break a tackle? No, he cannot. We are going to go no huddle to get up to the line of scrimmage, though. I want to stick and nod with Posey. And we're going to send Cooper on a drag. And really, this is just pick your poison. See who gets open first. And Cooper's wide open underneath. And we're going to dive into the end zone for the TD. And he holds on to it. A great first touchdown drive by Jake Zimmer and the Lions offense. And really, you know, again, this is getting into the territory where we're starting to dominate the Bears, not only physically, but mentally as well over the last couple of matchups. Since Marco Keaton has been the quarterback, we have not lost to them. And, you know, before it was Marco Keaton, it was Marcus Mariota. And Marcus Mariota did blow us out one time. And, you know, as soon as they drafted Marco Keaton, they just kicked Marcus Mariota to the side, and they have not beat us since. And we want to keep it that way, of course. The thing about Marco Keaton is that he plays so conservatively against us. It seems like he just doesn't want to throw picks, and then he ends up playing so conservative that he just tosses up one-on-one balls because he gets into 3rd and long, different situations, and he ends up just having to force it. Oh, throwing the short out, and it's going to be incomplete. Keaton now 1 of 3 for 7 yards. We are in cover 4. They're in an empty set. We got to worry about N'Keal Harry potentially being wide open, dropping down underneath. The curl flat combos are always there. Surtain trying to go for a big hit on George Kittle, which does not make sense. Kittle almost picking up the first down, making it 3rd and inches. And Saquon is back for this game. I will say in the first game we played against them, when we won by 14, Saquon was out and Staten was, oh man. And just as I say that, Saquon with multiple broken tackles, taking it up to the 48 off of his first carry. But yeah, in our last matchup, Staten was the starting running back, and he did not do very well. He was mostly used as a receiving back, though, I won't lie. They didn't decide to run all that much. On the counter, good blocks. Oh, man, Nathan Wall's got... What the... What? Oh, what? All right, well, we tackled Saquon down finally for the touchdown. But I don't know what... Wow. I don't know what Nathan Walls was doing on that play, but he completely whiffed on the tackle. It's like he turned around, didn't even make an attempt to put his hands out. And then Isaiah Simmons missed the tackle as well. So now it's tied 7-7. A great run by Saquon. That's usually what gets him in the game, is some great runs from Saquon. Kind of just taking over on the back half of that drive. Again, 2 carries for 65 yards for a TD. There's not much you can do about that when he is just like in the zone running that well, and he's getting great blocks. But, you know, again, if we give up some rushing yards to Saquon, it is what it is, as long as we have the lead. Oh, Brian Jackson on the return. We got great blocks, but it kind of collapsed at the last second, down at the 34-yard line. But again, like I was saying, if he's getting great blocks and they're, you know, if we have the lead, then I feel confident that we're going to win the game when they run the football effectively. We just cannot allow Marco Keaton to get in the zone. That's the main thing. Read option, reading the edge, and we're going to keep it. Oh, beating him one-on-one. Oh, I wanted to slide down. Didn't want to risk the fumble potentially, but a good first down pickup from Jake on the read option keeper. Going into strong. We're going to run a little halfback counter. They do have a lot of people pressed up on the line of scrimmage, though. On the counter, great blocks. Lionel Hebbert's got a lot of room. One-on-one with Minka, picking up the first down. And Lionel Hebbert's gotten going already to start this game off. And again, I don't know what it is, but, you know, Hebbert will be struggling a couple games. And then last game, he just went crazy. And he always, and I mean always, plays well against this Bears team. We'll do a little pump fake. Lionel Hebbert underneath. Little truck. Man, I love it. I love to see it. He just gets up for these games against the Bears. Second and 7. Yeah, Brian Jackson in the backfield. See Antoine on the short out. Can he hold on to it? And he does, picking up the first down. Again, Antoine is a player that we need to get a lot more touches to. He is a part of the long-term future of this team, I think, without a doubt. As Cooper starts to age and regress a little bit. You know, Antoine, still pretty young. Watching him on the slant, too. Here, oh, a bad ball. I mean, it just took a little while to get out of Jake Zimmer's hands. I felt like he was going to be open on the slant. It just took too long to get him the ball. But, you know, as Cooper starts to age out a little bit, Antoine's role will expand with the team. You know, I don't even know what his... Oh, my God. Dangerous pass. 3rd and 1. I don't even know if Antoine is excited about playing for us right now due to the lack of, you know, PT and just overall touches he gets. One-on-one with Brian Jackson back of the end zone for the TD, and he beats the linebacker. Halfback wheels with Brian Jackson are, to be honest, just unfair sometimes. And we regained the lead 14-7. But I can't lie, that is why he is third for, I think he's third for Offensive Player of the Year. And it makes sense. He's just a touchdown machine in the red zone. Again, we put him into a lot of good situations where he just has a complete mismatch, and that's kind of what he's on this roster for, is to be a mismatch against linebackers, against safeties. You know, he can beat you as a receiver, he can beat you as a runner as well, although I will say we haven't been running him as much lately. On the reverse, immediately tackled down by Surtain, George Kittle. See, it's surprising seeing George Kittle on a play like that, you know, on a sweep. But, yeah, I can't... What's even more surprising is that Surtain made that tackle. Watching underneath. Curl flats combos is, again... Marco Keaton loves curl flats. He absolutely loves the curl combos. And we were all over it because we were in cover 2. Now we're in cover 1. On 3rd and 9, they need a conversion. Oh, he just tosses it up. Isaiah Simmons. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. We have 2 of our tallest players on that pass. And N'Keal Harry, who has historically mossed us for whatever reason, he's throwing it off his back foot, just an absolute prayer. And we've got Isaiah Simmons and Tariq there. 2 6'4" players. And N'Keal Harry comes down with the ball. All right, we're in base cover 3. On 1st and 10 from the 40. They're in the gun. We're sending... Oh, crap. Good tackle by Anthony Barr. I didn't really want him to be in, but a good tackle by him nonetheless. Oh, that's why. It's because we need to put... Okay, we need to put Trey in and Baron Browning over there. All right, 2nd and 6. A weird play there, but we have not really been using... Oh, crap. 2nd and 6. Short in. Another catch by Jarvis Landry this time. Who am I thinking of? We have not been... Jesus, fuck. First and 10. We have not been using Damon Clark nearly enough. Not in cover in base 3-4 all that often. 1st and 10 on the run. Saquon getting a little shifty, moving left and right. Only picking up 2 yards on the play, but his average is still crazy high. Kirsten Harris acting like he did something crazy on that play. Again, we've been getting killed in the run game. We cannot get excited yet. Another run by Saquon, and this time Saquon taking it for a big gain down to the 8-yard line. No celebration that time. Well, not from us at least. 1st and goal. Dropping into cover 2. And I don't like that Trey Hendrickson is in coverage. And he got absolutely crushed in coverage. And Kittle's got the touchdown in the back left corner of the end zone against Nathan Walls, who trips him on the play. No penalty flags fly, though. But, yeah. Cover 2 sometimes gets burnt when you have somebody underneath and you have somebody on the corner route. But Nathan Walls has also been kind of spotty in coverage for us a little bit. We are all tied up 14-14, and on the return, Brian Jackson had a chance to break it away on the last attempt. Here, some more good blocks. Oh, man, it's just... I can see the daylight, but we're just not quite getting there. We do get it up to the 30-yard line as Jake Zimmer and the offense come back onto the field. And, you know, what is my goal on this possession? Again, I want to use the triple option a little bit more. So far, the passing game has been really successful for us. They do have a lot of people up on the line. And they don't have a lot of safety help up top. And we're actually going to pass this instead. We're going to block Lionel Hebert. And honestly, Cooper try to win this one-on-one on the outside. And we're tossing it up, and Cooper able to hold on to. He's got... Oh, he beats Minka. Should he celebrate? Take it into the end zone for the TD. Another great pass and great route by Cooper. And again, Jake Zimmer plays his best. He saves his best for the Bears games. Short out to George Kittle, and he picks up the first down, or it's going to be second and inches. But, yeah, like I was saying, he saves his best for his games against the Bears. I don't know what it is, but, you know, he'll struggle against non-divisional opponents sometimes and throw some, like, uncharacteristic interceptions. But against the Bears, he is consistently on the money, and I think it might be partially because we game plan and actually try pretty hard in these matchups against the Bears. We know exactly like what they're gonna do defensively for the most part. Oh my god, what a hit! I believe that was Baron Browning on the hit. But you know, you're always a little bit more familiar with your in-division opponents. You know, we're pretty familiar with the Packers as well as the Vikings. Short completion outside to Saquon as he picks up the first. And Keaton kind of nickel and dime us a little bit. He is barely throwing any incompletions, but only for 90 yards on about 11 completions so far. So not throwing it too far down the field. Another short completion to George Kittle as they pick up the first down again. And this is kind of historically how Keaton has played against us in our first 3 matchups against him. Not throwing a lot of deep balls. I mean, to be fair, they don't have really that deep ball kind of receiver. You know, George Kittle, your tight end, is he going to run a 40-yard, you know, go route down the field? Probably not. He's going to be, you know, moving around the middle of the field, maybe 20 yards down at most. You know, Keenan Allen, is he burning you down the field? Not really. Although I will say, N'Keal Harry is kind of their big play receiver. As we get a penalty on the play, this might be for roughing. And it's actually offensive holding. So we're going to take this, and instead of making it 3rd and 2, we're going to make it 2nd and 12. And bumping them out of the, you know, outer end of the field goal kind of range. 2nd and 2, or 2nd and 12. Curl flats, Ryan Neal is there, and Saquon just shrugs it off. Blah, 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 blah. We're in dollar right now. We didn't get the playoff in time. It's 3rd and 2. I fully expect them to run with Saquon, and they don't. Dropping back into coverage. Oh, and they get beat. Jalen Armour Davis is in for some reason, and he gets crushed on the outside one-on-one against Jarvis Landry. And Nathan Walls can't get back there in time. And they score another touchdown, tying it with only a minute remaining. And a complete defensive breakdown in coverage. You know, we're scoring a lot of points here. You know, our offense is doing a great job. Our defense is kind of letting us down right now. All right, we got 1 minute remaining, and kind of typically what we've been doing the last couple of games to avoid any sort of turnovers is doing a couple of read options to start off with, and Lionel Hebert broke one last game for about 80 yards. So we're probably going to follow the same script as Brian Jackson gets down to the 20-yard line. This time on the read option, we're going to use Brian Jackson instead of Lionel Hebert. And if the run up the middle is there, we're going to give it to him. But we're reading the end, and he is... Oh, what? He was staying with Brian Jackson. But instead, he actually stays with Jake Zimmer, changing his mind at the last second. 2nd and 14. I don't feel comfortable passing, so we're going to run it again with Brian Jackson. Ooh, taking a hit. And they call a timeout, making it 3rd and 13. They want the ball back. Surprisingly, with only 26 seconds left, they want us to punt it away. And I think we're going to audible out of this formation. And we're going to take a shot. I don't feel comfortable doing that either. We're just going to see if Posey gets open over the top. Posey over the middle. Can he hold on to it? He does. And we're going to call a timeout now. How do you like that, Bears? All right, 1st and 10. We got an interesting concept on the outside. We got Brian Jackson split out wide at wide receiver. We got Cooper potentially with a one-on-one matchup. We drop back into zone. Jamison over the middle. Oh, great coverage by Devondre Campbell. It's going to be incomplete. Still 16 seconds remaining. We have 1 timeout, so it doesn't hurt to throw a pass over the middle. I don't love this set of plays. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can bait them into thinking it's a run. It could be a run in this situation, I guess. A little play action. Over the top, Jamison's wide open. Jamison going down at the 35. And we're going to call our last timeout and take this field goal to give us a 3-point lead before half. And this has been a back-and-forth game so far. Each offense having a lot of success. And what we're going to have to do going into halftime is figuring out how to slow down the Bears offense a little bit. They've had a lot of kind of big explosive plays, though. N'Keal Harry with 1 big grab. Saquon with a big run or 2. And, yeah, we just need to slow them down in some way, kind of limit the explosive plays downfield. But Jamison with 2 catches so far for 42 yards, and this is going to be the final play most likely. They're not going to take it out of the back of the end zone. They're probably just going to knee it before half. We'll see. And they do knee it before half, so we're going to go into halftime with a 21-24 lead. Jake Zimmer, without a doubt, had his best first half of his career. 230 passing yards, 3 TDs, 0 picks. We have had a heavy focus on passing in this game so far. On the return, Brian Jackson, oh man, again, tempting us, making us think we're going to get that kick return TD. We go back out onto the field, though, and always getting coached up by Kirk Cousins on the sideline. Playing that bench role super well. Again, playing really well for us in that game where he subbed in for Jake Zimmer. Lionel Hebert on the edge, picking up only a few yards on the run. And I do want to focus on running the football in the second half a little bit more, although we have had a lot of success passing against them. We don't want to go away from what's working, but I do expect that they're going to have a little bit more success against us guarding the pass. Putting Posey over the middle. Oh, he had his hands on it, but he couldn't hold on. Third and 8 from the 32. This could have Posey open. I'm looking for Cooper maybe too on a zig. And over the middle. Oh, we can't get the pass off in time. We got Antoine Andrews open on the drag route, but took a little bit too long, and they got pressure finally, forcing the incompletion, and we will have to punt this away on our first possession of the second half, which obviously is a huge bummer when we have had a tough time stopping their offense, and we just get it out of bounds. So right now, nickel, we got Surtain actually at the nickel spot. This is a little unique. Usually he's the outside corner without a doubt. George Kittle on the short out. Ooh, underneath. Surtain with the tackle. Yeah, it's kind of unique seeing Surtain in the nickel spot a little bit when he excels so much as the outside corner. And I don't know why Jalen Armour-Davis was in earlier. I think that was Jalen. I don't think it was... I think it had to be Jalen. I don't think it was Eric Stokes. Christian Harris is injured, holding his wrist. I hate to see that. He is basically irreplaceable on this team. Baron Browning is kind of like that sub linebacker that can fill in for him a little bit at times, but really besides that, it's just Damon Clark. Saquon on the run. Finally has to be gang tackled down for a gain of 4 yards. And Christian Harris is out with a strained tricep. That is a big loss, obviously. All of our defensive players are, so important to us, but middle linebacker is one of the most important spots on the field, and Christian Harris, again, his development is so incredibly important to this franchise. Oh, a big hit by Ryan Neal, making it 3rd and 4. Christian Harris is, he's the future of the middle linebacker position. A fantastic man middle linebacker cover. Got Nathan Walls in coverage. We're letting George Kittle go, and it's a 1-on-2, but a really inaccurate pass out of Marker Keaton, and they're going to punt the ball back away to us again. So we held up on defense this time, and we're going to have the chance to come down and possibly make this a 2-possession game. On the punt, though, they cough and kick us at the 6. We're running an RPO on 1st and 10 from the 6. See if Jameson can get open. And he's now. We're going to run with Hebert. Hebert on the run, picking up a couple yards. A couple tough yards. As usual, it's never easy for Hebert. There's rare occasions where he gets free, like 5-10 yards downfield without being touched. For whatever reason, he is always getting hit at the 1 or 2 yard mark past the line of scrimmage. Picking up a couple more yards, making it 3rd and manageable for Jake. On 3rd and 5. Have a high-low going, seeing what the linebackers do. It looks like it might be cover 2. Juwan Johnson has his matchup beat. Oh, it's an underthrow, and he can't hold on to it. Man, we got the throw off of Jake Zimmer's back foot. I thought we had set our feet on that play, but it looked like he definitely threw it off his back foot. We have to punt it away again. A.J. Cole with a great punt. Stokes on the coverage. A nice tackle on Jarvis Landry down at the 38-yard line. But after a really offensive first half, back and forth, we've been going, punting the football to each other. And we just got to see who comes down and scores offensively first. On 1st and 10, a little delayed snap, or delayed handoff to Saquon as Marcus Lawrence is there for the tackle. On 2nd and 12. We got some unusual linebackers in right now. We got Anthony Barr in, who does not see a lot of PT, one of our veteran backup linebackers. Damon Clark, trying to get over there, but Tariq Woolen getting blocked. Nathan Wall's got a 1-on-1, and this time he does not miss the tackle. He makes it on Saquon. Saquon's still averaging about 13 yards per carry, and he has just killed us in some of these games. He's one of the hardest running backs to guard, without a doubt, in Madden. 1st and 10 on the run. On the keeper, though, a good tackle by Anthony Barr, not being fooled. And what I've kind of noticed is that they've been running the ball a lot more on early downs, so we've been switching into kind of heavier sets to start off the first couple of plays of any set of downs. Man, he's got a lot of time making the throw finally. Barr misses the tackle. George Kittle picks up the first down to the 26-yard line. And so, like I said, as a result, they've been running a lot on 1st and 2nd down, so we've been coming out with heavier sets, 4-6 or 3-4 defenses. Halfback stretch out to the left and breaking it back. Oh, my God. Getting clotheslined by his offensive lineman. Making it 2nd and 5, though, regardless. Does not fumble the ball. You got to respect that. 2nd and 5. They're in empty. Oh, George Kittle's open underneath. And, again, that's a huge mismatch now that Christian Harris is out. Christian Harris has kind of been the George Kittle, not stopper, but slower downer, for our team. And the only other player that really matches up well against him is Isaiah Simmons for us. 1st and 10 from the 13. Watching underneath. Oh, and he just throws it away. A smart play. I was all over that pass into N'Keal Harry if he threw it. It's going to be a definite interception. Marco Keaton looking very polished in this game. You know, only about 4 incompletions, 2 TDs, no picks. On the run, Saquon, Surtain. Oh my God. Surtain tried to go for a hit. Obviously, again, Surtain going for hits has been a mistake historically. He did force a fumble pretty recently for us, but Saquon making him pay and taking it into the end zone for the TD. And Saquon is having a monster game. Almost, he's got to be close to 200 rushing yards, I think, right? Not only is Christian Harris important for stopping or slowing down George Kittle, but he's integral for playing the run. Oh my God, we got it. Brian Jackson, he's been looking for one all game, and he's finally got it for the touchdown. His second of the season in the most important time when we finally fell down to the Bears in the third quarter, and he takes it all the way. Taking it into his own hands. Brian Jackson, the superstar of this team. It makes sense why he's third in the league for Offensive Player of the Year. Just an absolute weapon in every aspect of the game. And yeah, Saquon up to 150 rushing yards and 10 receiving yards, and it looks like the dam is broken in the second half. All of a sudden, we're going from punting it every time to back-to-back scores. Admittedly, ours was on special teams. We're in cover 3. They split Jarvis Landry in the slot kind of, or underneath, watching it. Oh, a pass, though, is complete still to Jarvis Landry, who's kind of a duck. Hung out there for quite a while, but Nathan Walls didn't have the speed necessary to go make a play on the ball, although he was playing great coverage. He was just playing underneath a little bit. 1st and 10. We're bringing a man blitz. Marco Keaton is incredibly comfortable right now. 1st and 10. Oh, halfback screen. Oh my God, I completely whiffed with Baron Browning. Nathan Walls missing the tackle. And Saquon, oh, that might be a late hit, Ryan Neal. We're coming out in 4-6 to start off with. A little Bear defense against the Bears. Could be a jet sweep, and it's a run by Saquon. Baron Browning can't tackle him. Takes like 5 dudes just to tackle Saquon right now. He's so hot. 13 carries, 150 yards, 2 TDs right now. And he seems basically unstoppable. 2nd and 6 in the gun. Another run for Saquon. Saquon breaking more tackles. Another tackle broken. Finally, a combination of Walls and Surtain are able to take him down. And it's 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, you know, you'd think this is a passing situation, but so far the Bears have shown us that they are willing to run it pretty consistently. But I do think George Kittle's running a short out. I'm going to be all over that. Could be curl flats as well. He just does a little turnaround. We're on the curl. There's nothing there. Throwing up one-on-one, back corner. And Surtain playing great coverage, forcing the incompletion. We cannot get mossed on that. And Marco Keaton is 20 for 25. And if they make this field goal, it's going to be tied, but it's a long one from 38. It really is. And it is off the upright, no good. And, yeah, like I said, that was a long field goal. Jalen Armour-Davis may be affecting the kick a little bit. He got there, kind of pressured him. But we get very lucky. We have a 3-point lead. And I think we're going to try to run this ball a little bit, although we're going to let Brian Jackson have a halfback screen first. On the run, cutting it back inside, and picking up only a few yards on the play. On 2nd and 8, got a 3 tight end set out in single back. Looks like it could be a nice halfback stretch out to the right. Bringing it back inside. A broken tackle by Little Hibbert. And Little Hibbert, he's going to break it away. No one's going to catch him. And he's taking it for the TD again. 2 explosive plays from our offense. Well, 1 from the offense and 1 from special teams. But Little Hibbert and Brian Jackson both showing out in this game. Everybody's showing up on offense, making plays when we needed them to most. And we take a commanding 10-point lead with 38 points. We are shutting this Bears defense down. They cannot stop us on offense. And they just showed Marco Keaton on the sideline. And they just showed Marco Keaton on the sideline, shaking his head. He can't believe it, man. I mean, 28 points, you think you could do well. You got 150 rushing yards. I think you might be winning this game. Saquon on the run, breaks off 1 tackle. Finally gets gang tackled down by 3 people. Tariq staring him down on the ground. I mean, I don't know. If I'm Tariq Woolen, I probably wouldn't be doing that. One-on-one, Tariq's getting, trucked by Saquon. And we don't want to see that even happen. They're in the gun. From 2nd and 9, you got to wonder what they're going to do. Short out to Kittle. Kittle gets a nice possession catch. Falls down after picking up the 1st down. And Keaton still only 5 incompletions up to this point. Kittle up to 80 receiving yards. And there's 5 minutes remaining. The clock is ticking here. See what they do. George Kittle seems to be unmarked on the left side. We've got to watch him a little bit. Oh, underneath on the angle play, or angle route, I mean. Saquon with another catch. And Saquon might be over 200 total yards. Oh, yeah, he has 50 receiving yards. So, I mean, he's just doing everything for this team right now. Saquon is the MVP of the Bears, without a doubt. Finally getting tackled down, this time by Morrow. One of our free agent pickups earlier in the season. And, again, he's subbed in right now because Christian Harris went out earlier in the game with an injury, a strained tricep. I don't think it's going to be a long-term injury. They're in empty. We're going to just cover 3. A little bit dangerous. The seam might be open. Dropping back, watching deep over the middle. And Morrow doesn't have the speed to keep up with N'Keal Harry, who goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. First and 10. Bringing a man blitz. We're doing it. I think this is a run, and it is. Oh, he cuts it back right, though. Great run by Saquon, and we got 5 people on it. Can someone take him down? He picks up 6 yards nonetheless. And the thing that's surprising is, Saquon doesn't have X Factor, so he can't get Superstar, X Factor activated. You'd think that he would still have X Factor. Oh, my God, another broken tackle. Saquon with the grab, too. We got to see what his stats are after the game because they are ridiculous. He's doing everything in the receiving game, too. George Kittle's the only other dude that's caught anything, really, and N'Keal Harry with 1 nice, catch downfield. But now it's a 3-point game. They had 7 plays, 75 yards, and Marco Keaton is looking fantastic. 3 touchdowns, no picks. It's a battle right now. Marco Keaton has passed Jake in yards for this game, but Jake is, still 3 passing TDs, no interceptions. On the return, again, Brian Jackson, up to the 25. And this Bears special teams do not want to see Brian Jackson return the football. We're going to give Hibbert a chance to run the football. The Bears up to 430 offensive yards. You would think that they might have the lead in that case, but we have come out here and played really well on offense too. Little Hibbert with a nice carry, picking up 4 yards. He's up to 8 carries for 80 yards himself. No slouch. He had, again, I think he outplayed Saquon in the snow game. But, again, it's a snow game. Things happen. Little Hibbert on the carry, on the toss, and he loses yards, making it 3rd and 10. And we got to lock in. On 3rd and 10, we got to lock in. We got to convert this. What is our go-to play on 3rd and 10? Who do we want to get open? I think I want to see if I can get Cooper open on a short out. This looks like it's man coverage. We got Jameson on the outside. They got safety help up top. We are not running play action. Let's see who gets open. Cooper is open. Oh, they tip it away. I needed to pass that earlier if I was going to make it. Cooper was too far outside. 4th and 10 with, just a second before the 2-minute warning. The 2-minute warning is just about to happen. And we're punting this football away. With a 3-point lead, it's dangerous. With how hot Saquon has been, we're going to have to try to shut him down again. On the return, Jarvis Landry breaks a tackle. Finally going down at the 30-yard line. All right, we're playing base 3-4. We're worried about the run for sure. And we're worried about Saquon catching the ball as well. Got Jarvis Landry in the slot. It's play action, though. Over the middle. No, George Kittle on the sideline catches it. Out of bounds at the 42. And this may very... Oh, it's going to be a booth reviewed. I was going to say, this may very well be Keaton's best game against us so far. Hasn't thrown a pick yet. Kittle... let's see if he stays in. Well, what are they going to say? They made it an incomplete. Okay, 2nd and 10. Thought that was a really nice pass from Keaton, but Kittle could not keep his feet in bounds. 2nd and 10. Saquon in the backfield. Pass play. Watch the curl. Oh, man. Tree getting beat by Jarvis Landry. Again, Keaton has that. He has it going right now. This whole offense for the Bears has it going. Watching George Kittle up top on the short. Oh, he did a deep in. Instead, 2nd and 10 off the incompletion from Keaton. We're going to run cover 1. A little dangerous with this many linebackers on the field. Base 3-4 defense. Oh, halfback screen. We're all over it. And it is 3rd and 10. And I recall the Bears, doing some halfback screens when they were down late in the game against us in the previous game. And they're going back to that old play. Watching the short out. Walls with good coverage. It's going to be 4th and 3. And you have to assume, of course, they're going to be going for it. And this is the play of the game. They're in I form. This looks like a run on 4th and 3. I can't believe they'd be running it with Saquon on 4th and 3. But could they? Saquon, oh my God, he just carries Isaiah Simmons enough. They're running no huddle, though. Drop him into cover 4. Saquon's going downfield. And, oh my God, what a bad pass. Anthony Barr with the pick. And Keaton just had a brain fart on that play. An unfathomable pass from Marco Keaton. Made no sense at all. Did he get pressured on that? I don't know what he was looking at. But that effectively seals the game right there. So Keaton is in the back, and no, he had no pressure on him at all. Just an absolute duck pass again. He was trying to get Jarvis Landry on the comeback, but Anthony Barr was just sitting there in coverage, just waiting for it. And didn't make Anthony Barr work for it at all. Free pick 6 for Anthony Barr. And that is the first play I think he has made for us, and the first turnover of the game as well. As we take the commanding 45-35 lead. An all-out amazing performance from us on offense, and defense stepped up most when it needed to. That is traditionally what our team has done. When we've needed to get the play, we've gotten the play. Except for when we've been in the Super Bowl, of course. Sometimes in the Super Bowl, we do not get the play. But with a 10-point lead, this thing is basically over. I don't foresee them getting anything crazy. Especially when Saquon has been their entire offense. I don't expect him to be going down the field with an 80-yard TD catch, but I have seen crazy things happen before. And George Kittle is unmarked. I'm going to have to go cover him myself. Oh, my God. I literally just said that Saquon wasn't going to get an 80-yard touchdown, and he almost just got an 80-yard touchdown. Because for whatever reason, we were completely mixed up in man coverage. I went over to go guard George Kittle because he was left wide open on the outside. And then, of course, Saquon was also left wide open. I love to see it. Okay, cover 3. Something that, zone coverage, you can't mess up where you're supposed to be in the zone. 1st and 10 from the 22. Saquon, again, we're going to have to look at his stats after the game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Saquon with another grab, going out of bounds. They're going to actually say it was an incomplete. But Keaton having almost a flawless performance against us, and then throwing, one of the worst picks I've ever seen, to be honest. One of the worst pick 6s I've ever seen, without a doubt. Short underneath again, George Kittle out of bounds at the 18, making it 3rd and 6. But, yeah, with 22 seconds left, this game is basically over. They've used one timeout as well. Over the top, Nathan Wall's playing help coverage. Jalen Armour Davis gets moss by Jarvis Landry, and yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't know why Jalen's out there right now, but he was. And he got burnt badly again. He's getting killed out there. And it's a 3-point game and 16 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They have to go for the onside. They have to win the onside. And we could not give this up. Hands team, come on, let's make a play. Jalen, oh my God. Jamison with a one-hander, just nonchalant. And with 2 timeouts left, they're probably going to try to call him. But we're going to skip through this to the end of the game. All right, and we win the game 45-35. All right, and we win the game 45-42. An absolute barn burner. Not a lot of defensive stops, but we got the defensive stop when we needed it most. And Jake Zimmer had a literally flawless performance. Marco Keaton and Jake Zimmer are shaking hands at midfield. Marco Keaton, an 80% completion percentage in the game. Just one crucial mistake that cost them the game. And they had almost 400 passing yards, too, along with how successful Saquon was running the football. And let's go ahead and get into the stats because I'm very curious what these looked like. It was a really interesting game. So Marco Keaton, 4 TDs and 1 pick. I forgot he scored that last second touchdown. And Jake Zimmer, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. And Keaton, almost 400 passing yards. Jake had almost 230 passing yards at half. He didn't really do anything in the second half. Rushing the football, Saquon, 18 carries, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lionel Hebert, no slouch of his own. Doing basically the same thing off of just less carries. 9 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown himself. Basically just got half of the touches that Saquon did. And Brian Jackson didn't really do much rushing. Receiving-wise, Saquon with 120 receiving yards. So he had 280 yards and 3 touchdowns against us. That's unbelievable. Jarvis with 92 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. George Kittle with 10 catches, 85 receiving yards and a TD. Cooper, 3 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. A fantastic game from him. Jamison with 2 grabs for 40. Brian Jackson, 3 catches for 40 and a touchdown. Posey only 1 catch in the game. Juwan Johnson with only 1 catch, and Antoine Andrew with 2 catches for about 20 yards. Lionel Hebert with 1 grab as well. Defensively, Christian Harris leading the tackles. Sacks, Trey Hendrickson with 1 sack for us. 1 interception coming from Anthony Barr, who ended up getting the pick 6, and we had no forced fumbles. But then, additionally, something we don't usually look at, Brian Jackson with the 6 kick returns, averaging 40 yards on the kick return with his 102-yard kick return touchdown. One upgrade after the game for Corey Linsley, getting up to an 89 overall, 91 with the morale boosts. And he's 33 years old, a star dev right now. He's, definitely regressing, but love to see it. He's almost a 90 overall at this point. And so, we are now 12-3-1 on the season, winning a lot of consecutive games on the back end of the season. Losing a couple to start the season with almost a 50 record in the first 6 or 7 weeks. But we have one more game before the playoffs, and it is against the team we lost to in the Super Bowl. I could not write a better script. And yeah, Week 18 against the Texans, you have to watch that game without a doubt. But thank you guys so much for watching, those of you who stuck through the whole video. Make sure if you have not already to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.